Hello, this is an assessment for restoration of a Bechstein Model A Grand. That's 1911 and when it was made, and the key tops are reasonably good here. A couple of slight chips there, but generally in good condition. They need buffing, and otherwise they attract dirt like that. If they were buffed, they'd also get slightly less yellow. And cosmetically, the piano clearly needs repolishing. If it's a black piano, we normally do polyester because it's really difficult to do French polished black. And nowadays, people really appreciate the shiny polyester anyway. So it'd definitely come out beautifully if it was done. The piano's at concert pitch, and it's been restrung at some stage. You can tell by the larger tuning pins. Also, the string colour is not the original, although it was a long time ago when it was restrung, probably even pre-war, I would have thought. Getting to the point where the bass string certainly would be improved a lot by restringing. I think if you're going up a size again with tuning pins, you might actually consider replacing the rest blank, because one more size up would be almost the maximum size. We would, if it was a stock piano, we'd automatically replace the rest blank. That's the wood under there as well, so that's something definitely to consider. A nice full tone at this point. It will restore really well. The down bearing must be good, so the bridge caps probably don't need doing. So treble tone is really good. Just the bass that's slightly weak, but as the tuning pins are also tight in the treble, I would say you could change the bass strings, certainly worthwhile. If you're going to redo anything, you probably best have to do everything, that is to change the tuning block as well. So it's either a question of doing everything, or perhaps the bass strings, which would actually mean though the tuning pins will end up very tight, very big. We'll have to think about that and write later about that. There's no cracks on the frame. These later Model A's don't tend to have cracks on the frame, but at this point Model A's often have cracks on the frame. Just here, where you see at this point here, you'll see plenty online about crack frames on Bechsteins, and you'll see where the crack comes from there. There's no crack whatsoever on this one. And then the soundboard, it looks pretty perfect to me, and the original badge though, the badge has probably been changed when it was restrung, so it's quite unusual to have a piano restrung at that phase. Most restringing is done more recently, but in generally very good condition. The bridge is in good condition too. Here we can see the hammers on the piano, and this is the most obvious thing that needs doing, which is replacing the hammers. They're just too far gone to reface, too much wear on them. You see they're too flat. That huge flat surface hits the string and makes a dull sound. If it's pointed, then it brings out all the harmonics beautifully. But at the moment, that's obviously the section where it's played the most in the middle there. But really have to replace those. Also, we replace hammers, shanks, and rollers, which is roller under here. And then we get a nice tight pin here, because those pins are a bit loose too. The hammers are wobbling. So it really is typical wear when the piano's been played a lot. And also the hammer height, the hammer will go up a bit then if this is replaced, this roller, and the hammer, because it's too far away. It should be a gap between the hammer and the felt below it. That's quite standard stuff. As regards to the rest of the action, well, there's slight wear in all the parts, but if you're going to economise, these are pretty tight on the whole. These felts are very tight indeed. You can replace them, certainly. It's a lot of work. You have to get the felts exactly right. So I think this piano would be, economy would be the right thing to do. You're not going to notice anything as a pianist doing those. Again, the front ones, they're just very slightly loose, but very slightly loose. The side of the keys needs cleaning, as you can see, and there it's worn off completely. So that's something we could do as well. I've just been talking to the client about this piano, and it's probably going to move from here, because I recommended this is an 85 note piano. Now it's in a concert venue. You can see where it is, a very beautiful chapel here in one of the universities in Oxford. And in this concert venue, you're really going to need an 88 note keyboard. A lot of musicians won't be happy with 85, so it has to be a Bechstein Model B, which has 88 notes, or another piano. Now, the problem here is if we're going to economise and not repolish the piano, we've got a real difficulty on our hands. We don't like patching up black pianos. It's not an easy job. We can improve it a lot, and the polisher will certainly be able to improve it. The other problem with repolishing these Bechstein pianos is you get this crazing on the wood, as you can see, and really difficult to French polish. It is possible, but a lot of work and very expensive. It's about 70 hours work, probably more actually, on a black piano like this. 70 hours work on a normal rosewood one, which we're regularly doing, but blacks are really difficult to get right. Has the original music stand and the original turned legs, which is really nice. A very attractive piano, Model A is. So in summary, that's a Model A Bechstein grand piano, 1911 in ebonized case. Decision to be made on this piano. It's 85 keys, so it's not perhaps suitable for a concert venue, but it's a really nice tone. It will need new, or it will be much better when it's already, with the hammers as they are, around this area is much too weak. But I can tell the underlying tone is great. Thank you very much for listening.